Hello guys, ang topic natin ngayong araw, Quality Assurance Management in the Clinical Laboratory. So isn't it that we discussed already controlling and we have already touched this quality assurance. So this is a way of control what's happening in the laboratory kasi hindi basta-basta pwede gawin mo ang kung ano-anong gusto mo because there are standards that are set by the different organizations to maintain the quality of our laboratory results. So, yan ang pag-usapan natin ngayon about quality or assurance, okay? So, when we say quality, it means zero error. So, as much as possible is we are preventing error because in the laboratory, guys, error is deadly, di ba? Nakakamatay siya. And since we're dealing with patients, okay? So, walang error. What else? We are conforming to the specification or the requirements of whom? Of our customers, of the health professionals, of governing bodies, yung DOH natin, ISO, kung meron tayong ISO, international standards, organization. So, we are confirming to the specification. So, example, kunyari is result or blood products, ang dalawang nare-release sa laboratory eh. Laboratory results or blood products, blood units. So, kailangan i-ensure yung safety nitong mga to. Diba? Dapat may nakasign na medical technologies dun sa report and so on. So, it should meet and exceed the expectation of the people who uses our result. So, it refers to the satisfaction of the needs of the users of the lab and the customers of the laboratory. So, the users are not only the patients, but also the different agencies. Yan. So, ngayong COVID-19, so kailangan yung mga COVID-19 results rin natin, binibigay rin natin sa DOH CAR, and so on, tapos sa national. So, according to ISO, quality control is part of quality management. Yan. So, it's a section of what we do in the laboratory. And we will know, and I hope you already know that quality is a journey, not a destination. So actually, bawat step of the way in the laboratory process, in any organization, bawat lahat yan chinecheck. Kasi back then, guys, yung end product lang yung chinecheck nila. It's the destination lang yung chinecheck nila. But now, since the paradigm already has changed, na every step of the way dapat chinecheck. So from the procurement of the materials that are used in the laboratory, yung mga quality control materials mo, to the preparation of the specimen from its collection to the transport up to its release. Yan, dapat lahat yan chine-check, okay? Kasi maraming error sa bawat step. So, quality assurance, so quality control is under the program called quality assurance, okay? So, wherein the overall activities conducted by the institution are directed towards assuring the quality of the products and service provider. So, maraming activities ang ginagawa to ensure quality. And so, we want to guarantee quality patient care. So, back then, yung paradigm, so what are good for selling, what are defective, ganun lang. So now we inspect the production, the process, how to prevent it. Yeah. And now, guys, yan, the new global paradigm, quality. So from quality control to quality assurance to quality management. That quality, guys, is a part of already management. Okay. So you plan it, yan. We supervise it, we monitor it, yan. So, it's already part, kaya nga meron na tayong mga quality control managers, supervisors, ganun talaga ang maintaining quality. At guys, pwede kayong maging consultant dito as a quality control supervisor, consultant, and so on. Because, yan, discuss na natin yun, if you do not conform to quality, there is scraps. Nasasayang ang mga gamit, rework, reruns, repeat runs, sayang lahat, effort. complaints, service, repeat requests. Okay? However, if you confirm, there are costs, mahal rin. Okay? You have to train, you have to calibrate, maintain, you have to inspect, yan, you have to perform quality control. Ayun. So, mas maganda, dito ka na, di ba, sa isang site. What are the challenges? Sabi, customers will spend up to 10% more for the same product with better service. True yan. Bayad ka na ng medyo mahal kung di ka naman pipila, di ba? When customers receive good service, they tell 9 to 12 people on the average. Hindi ba na meron namang mga government hospital, pero still some people prefer private hospitals kasi inaasikaso sila, ganyan. What else? They think it's cleaner. And there's less COVID. And when customers receive good service, they tell 9 to 12 people. When customers receive poor service, they tell up to 20 people. Matindi, di ba? 82% chance will look services for other institution. Okay, if they have received poor service, if a service is really poor, 91% chance of not availing the service of that institution. Ikaw na talaga babalik doon, 91% chance. So why customers stop doing business with you? 1% they die, 3% they move away, 5% seek other business or establishment, 14% are dissatisfied, and 67% upset with the treatment or services they have received. So matindi rin ang business. Isang transaction lang, no? Ang laking impact ng isang transaction. So, aside from that, yan, nadidisappoint yung mga customers natin. Pag we did not conform to quality, we have liabilities. Yan. So, pwede tayong makulong, masampahan, matanggalan ang lisensya. So, against the ethics of medical technology, yan, matanggalan ang lisensya. Dito, PMTA sa Dr. Atato, Civil Code of the Philippines, Revised Penal Code, and Special Laws. So, not only pwede rin matanggal ng license to operate yung laboratory. So, major figures in quality management. So, guys, nako, si Walter Schuhart, ang galing niya, he said that we could use statistical tools in ensuring quality. Okay? Kasi guys, example, you are running your control materials. It's natural daw that there are variations in the running of result. Pwedeng dahil sa equipment, konting variation sa ilaw na ginagamit. Kasi ang raming moving parts ng processing a specimen. Pwedeng sa pagpipette, pwedeng yung integrity mismo ng reagents, nung quality control materials, maraming variations, okay? And he said that we could use statistical tools to understand these variations, okay? So sabi niya, there are variations that are normal or natural. So ibig sabihin, in control ka pa rin, okay? But what we're watching out are the abnormal variations. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, baka napapasobra naman na itong variation na to. You are exceeding. Okay? You're going out of control. Okay? So, sabi niya, there's in production, kunyari paggawa ka ng tornilyo, talagang may onting variations and that's normal. Okay? And how did he show it? So, through this bell curve. Yan. So, if you collected so much information, guys, ang ina-expect mong maraming data, yan, expect mo, dapat, ang lalabas ng lahat ng result na kinuha mo, kunyari, you run glucose for how many days? You run it for, sabihin natin, 365 days. Dapat, lahat ng result, it's expected that it will fall in under the bell curve. Okay, what does this mean? Na dapat 34.1 and 34.1, pag-add mo sila, 68.2. 68.2 of your results must be around the mean. Okay, it should be dispersed around the mean. Okay, And guys, lalampas ka sa 1 SD. Yan, 1 standard deviation. About 13.6% of your glucose results from 365 days. Expect mo, it's normal na yung iba will fall, 13.6% will fall around the 1 standard deviation. And about 2.1% will fall in the 2 standard deviation and should only 0.1% should only fall in the 3 standard deviation. So this was the basis of Walter Schuhart in making this was the basis, sorry, of Levy-Jennings in making the Levy-Jennings chart. Okay, dahil sa ginawa ni Walter Schuhart, he is the father of statistical quality control because he applied statistics on quality control, and he is the father of total quality management because of his discovery. Yan. So nagsimula nitong mga quality control charts. Okay? So pag lumampas na sa 3SD yung glucose test mo, yan, you have a random error. Okay? Dapat hindi yun masyado nangyayari. Okay? So pag 2SD ka lumampas or standard deviation, ibig sabihin it's just a warning. Okay? It's just a warning. You're still in control. Okay? Pero dapat around this area lang lumalampas. Galing, no? Guys, galing, di ba? So Philip Crosby, sabi niya, quality is free. Poor quality is expensive. Okay, actually quality is expensive na rin eh. If you want to really maintain quality, you have to pay for it. Do things right the first time. Sabi niya ng teacher ko rin. Nakuha niya pala yan kay Philip Crosby. So do not do something if you do not have the will to do it right. Diba, guys? Kami magjojowa if you do not want to do it right. Diba? Huwag ka na magjowa. Correct. Why would you get yourself in a relationship? You will hurt yourself. You will hurt other people. So if you want to do it right, if you're ready to be in a relationship, be in a relationship. If you think you cannot be in a relationship, then why go into a relationship? Diba? Okay. And zero defects goal. Yan. As much as possible. Yun nga, in our pursuit of perfection, sabi nga ng UB yan. As much as possible, our goal is no error. Okay? But that's impossible. Pero, yun pa rin ang goal natin. Yan. Edward Deming introduced the use of statistical tools in decision-making, problem-solving, and troubleshooting. Galing, no, guys? Applying statistical tools. Wala tayong pakalam sa statistics, pero mahalaga pala siya in maintaining quality. Yan. Sabi ni Joseph Duran, quality is a continuous process. It's a cycle that requires managers' active pursuit in reaching and setting goals for improvement. Yan. So, he also discovered the Pareto principle. Sabi ng Pareto principle, guys, 80-20. Sabi, 80 of the gains in a company is because of the 20%. Yan, 20% lang ng company ang talagang nag-gain ng malaki, ng 80%. And guys, 80% of the problem also came from the 20% of the company. So, kailangan mong malaman yung 20 na yon. Okay, you have to search that 20. So, what are the 20 things that I need to focus on? Kasi it will produce the 80% gain of the company. And what are the 20% problems that I have to search because it causes the 80% of the problems in the company. Ganun pala yun. Okay. So, for the quality assurance program, so programa, okay, it's a set of activities that aims to maintain the highest degree of excellence for diagnosis and treatment. So, making sure that the standards are maintained. Yeah. The difference in quality assurance and control. So, quality assurance, malaki yung scope niya, okay? So, we monitor, we evaluate the indicators. So, example, yun nga yung mga last time, turnaround time, rejection rate, and quality control, these are the applied activities. Yan. So ito yung mga ginagawa natin. Example, running the quality control materials to detect, reduce, and correct Deficiencies in a laboratory internal process. Example, making sure that you have a standard operating procedure, it's always updated, and making sure that the PPEs are always available, quality control materials are always available. PQM and CQI. So these are management program. So mas malaki na naman to sa quality assurance. Includes each component from the customer to the producer and supplier in the creation of process. From acquisition of supply to active follow-up after the product service has been received by a delighted customer. Mas malaki na naman tong PQM. So this is part already of the management. Okay? Management activity na to. It wants to reduce errors, yan, and so on. So, marami, kaya nga management eh. So it also involves the organization, how you teach your employees on the vision, on the mission, how you train them, your standards that you use based ba ng CDC, assessment, continuous assessment, and you always document. Maraming papeles ang kailangan. Yan. So, the essentials talaga, kasi nga management level na eh. So, kasama na dito yung organization, personnel, documents and record, facilities, equipments. So, lahat to may quality control and they all contribute to quality control. Okay? Lahat sila nagko-contribute. Yan. Information management, occurrence management, kunyari ilan yung na-needle prick, and internal and external assessment, joining the internal quality control and external quality control, process improvement, customer service, and process control. So, quality assurance program is indicated in the relevant rules that govern our laboratory. Ito yung pinaka-latest, di ba? AO 37, year 2, 2021. Okay, it's a requirement na magkaroon ng quality assurance program, both internal quality assurance program and external quality assurance. Hindi or, okay, dapat both. So, internal quality assurance, dapat may idea na kayo. So, we standard the laboratory methods, we maintain the equipments. So, pag nagkaroon ka ng quality control, guys, it will also not only the control materials, but your method, yung equipment, kung okay pa ba siya, yung pagpipette ng personnel mo, yung light ng equipment, and if it needs calibration. Yan. So, pag nagkaroon ka ng quality control material, pwede lahat ito madamay or ma-check. Ayan, kung na-maintain ba yung mga pipettes mo. Yan. So, to do this, you need reference materials or quality control materials, yung mga reagents na binibili. So, yung normal quality control material, abnormal quality control, abnormally high, abnormally low. Yan. So, pag naran mo yung normal na quality control material, dapat ang labas sa makina mo, normal rin yung result kasi it has a known result. So, kung abnormal yung result niya out of hindi sa normal range, so you have to find where have you committed the mistake. Okay. External quality assurance program, so we participate in the proficiency test performed by your NRLs. So, 3 important requirements of quality assurance. Top management support, yan, kasi sila magpo-provide ng finances, you will the one to motivate to continue to pursue quality control, willingness to change, and it should be cost effective. Hindi naman dapat sobrang mahal, okay? So these are the phases of quality assurance, guys. Dapat memorize nyo na. Kasi nga, bawat phase na to, bawat examples dito, it could be a source of error. Yan, di ba? Sa pre-analytical phase, analytical phase, yan. Paano pag yung mga reagent mo, expired na bala, or iba yung lot number, hindi ka nag-recalibrate. Post-analytical, yan, mali yung conversion mo, yung pag-print mo, yung pag-type mo. Yan. So, dapat dalawang metric ang nagre-release ng result, dalang nakapirma. So, ayan guys, malamang ang quality assurance at talagang part siya ng board exam nyo. Bawat subject may 10% ang quality assurance. So, sensitivity of the test method. So, what do we mean guys when sabihin natin yung COVID test, it's highly sensitive. So, when we say it's highly sensitive, meaning even though you have a low titer o kaya low lang yung viral load mo ng COVID, kahit konti, na-detect yan. So, it means that the test is very sensitive. It gives a few false negative kasi kahit konti lang yung COVID viral load, na-detect agad. Yan. So, tulad ng RT-PCR guys, ng COVID-19, it's very sensitive. Konti ang false negative. Kung negative ka talaga, negative ka talaga. Okay? So, what do we mean when a test is specific? So, it's really specific for COVID. It does not detect other coronavirus like SARS-CoV-1. Kasi SARS-CoV-2 ang COVID. It's highly specific because we're using molecular markers or DNA. And so, hindi siya hindi siya prone for cross-contamination and so on. So, when we say high specificity, you have lower false positive. Bihira ang mga nagko-cross-contaminate. So, ibig sabihin yung ibang virus, it will not cross-contaminate. Okay? Kunyari, human papilloma virus, kunyari meron ka nun, hindi yun madedetect. COVID lang talaga ang madedetect. Hindi madedetect yung MERS-CoV and so on. So, accurate. So, when we say your result was accurate, meaning it is close to your value inside your body. Yan, malapit yung value. So, kunwari, yung talagang value ng glucose level ko, 81 milligrams per DL. Tapos yung result, 75 milligrams per DL. That's actually still close. Okay? Parang 5, 6 lang ang difference. Okay? There could be really variations kasi nga maraming factors eh. Yan. But the closest to your true value is the best talaga. And precision indicates how close test measurements are to each other when the same test is run on the same sample time after time. So, kumuha sila ng dugo ko, kunyari, at tinest yung glucose level ko 10 times. Dapat yung value ng 10 yun magkakalapit. Okay? So, pag magkakalapit yung value nung glucose levels ko, that test is very precise. Okay? Meron ba akong example ng precision dito? So, example, an archer is very precise when it hits the bullseye for talagang tuloy-tuloy. Okay? Para bullseye talaga. So, a basketball shooter is very precise kung consistent talaga siyang nakaka-shoot. Yan. So, kung consistent yung laboratory method mo, it's highly precise. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin, oh, the test is very accurate, so the test result is close to the true value of the body. When we say, oh, the test is very precise. Next, guys, are your standards. Yan. So, your standards are also used. So, magkaiba ang controls and your standards. Okay? Pag sinabi natin control, it is performed before you process all the patients of the day. Okay? Test mo muna yung control mo. When we say standards, guys, kasama to sa pag-process ng mga specimen mo, ng patient specimen mo. So this is the standard of the equipment or the test and its basis. Kumbaga, hindi ba, kung naalala nyo sa clinical chemistry, para i-solve ang concentration ng isang reagent, So we get our absorbance. Yan, kinukuha natin yung absorbance natin. Absorbance ng specimen over absorbance nung standard or control times the standard. Yan. So it's our basis. It's the basis of the reagent or the test. Yan. A solution that contains known amount of an analyte. Anyway, so basta yun ang standard. So primary standard can accurately weigh or measure to produce a solution of exactly known concentration. So dalawa sa laboratory ang alam mong concentration, your controls and also your standard. So secondary standard, substances of lower purity whose substance is determined by the assay calibrator or control. Yan. Substance with an assigned value that the manufacturer establishes by using a reference method or by using reference materials. Ay, may assigned value rin siya. So, it's also called as control, yung calibrators natin. So, yan. Yung mga calibrators, guys, we use it before running our patient specimen. Okay? So, yung mga standards natin, we use it every time we run our patients. So, yun. Control, bago. Yung standard, lagi lang natin ginagamit yan. So, basic control statistics. So, dapat malaman natin, di ba kanina pinakita ko yung bell curve. So, dapat alam natin yung mean, yung standard deviation. So, mas maraming na-run na analyte, mas maganda yung result natin ng mean, standard deviation. So, example, you could use the mean or the standard deviation from your results from last year. Yun yung magiging mean mo. Tapos, makukompute mo doon yung standard deviation, their dispersion around the mean. Your standard deviation will set the limits, the control limits, okay? So, 1 times your standard deviation. So, 1 is standard deviation mo, yung value niya, yun yung nasa plus 1 SD, okay? So, mean plus 1 SD, mean minus 1 SD. Yan. So, yung mean mo minus the standard deviation, yun yung negative 1 SD mo. And so on. So, dapat i-review na lang yun sa clinical chemistry nyo. So, this standard deviation will be our basis for the control limits. Okay? So, yung dispersion ng values natin around the mean. So, hindi ba sinabi natin, dapat 64.2, tama ba yun? 64.2 of your mga naran mo should rotate around the mean. Okay? So, ito yung mga, isa-set mo dito yung mga control limits mo. So, itong blue one, yung mean. So, mapapansin nyo, there are slight variations in the result, which is so far okay pa naman, okay? So, however, gagamitin natin yung mga Westgard rules to see if there are already violations. Yan. So, kung di ako nagkakamali, ito ay isang 4.1s violation. Kasi, guys, hindi dapat umabot ng 4 ang nasa isang area lang. So, ibig sabihin, a systemic error is starting to form. Yan, 4.1s. If I'm not mistaken. Yan. So, there is always variation in the process. So, we could assess if we are already in control or out of control. Pansin nyo, oh, magkakalayo, wala pang problema. Yan, normal variation. Pero, nung magkakadikit na sila, it could be a sign of error. Yun. So, yun yung mga signs natin. So, ito guys, coefficient of variation. So, you have kumbaga, variation inside your body. Example, yung iron ng mga tao, kaya nga ang reference range, may range. because hindi talaga siya, paiba-iba talaga, depende sa katawan ng tao, iba sa babae, iba sa lalaki. So to test for the precision and variability, we could use coefficient of variation. There are just merong mga accepted variation, okay? So example is triglycerides. So yung range of triglycerides natin sa katawan, it could vary talaga, about 20% variation, okay? So kung yung isang pasyente, mga normal values, normal results lahat sila, pero magkakalayo yung results nila ng mga 10%, 50%, magkakalayo yung mga result nila, okay ka pa. Okay. So, not beyond 20%. Yan. So, let's talk about your random error and your systematic errors. Pag sinabi natin random error, mga biglaan talaga, napaka-random talaga. Pag sinabi natin systemic error, this happens slowly, okay? And there is a pattern. So, simulan natin. So, when you have a random error, you're now imprecise, okay? So, ibig sabihin, dapat magkakalapit yung results, biglang ang taas nito. So, if there is a random error, they could be unpredictable, okay? Yeah. So, there are differences in repeated measurement. So, when there is random error, mababa na yung precision mo, okay? So, it does not happen in a regular pattern. So, ano yung mga random error? Example, 1, 3S. Ibig sabihin, isa lumampas sa 3S, plus 3S or negative 3S. And range 4S. Biglang nagkaroon sila ng 4 na gap. Yung dalawang magkalapit na control, biglang ang layo na ng gap nila. So, these are pointed to random error. Example, wrong pipette, voltage fluctuation, tataas yung voltahe, bababa yung voltahe, sampling error, so the wrong use of pipette. So this could point to the operator, this could point to the non-calibration of your equipment, to the voltage. If there is drag, so pwede naman to sa tao na. So maraming causes rin ng random error. It's very unpredictable. Okay? So when it's systematic, it says that it's recurring. Yan. Either there is a trend or a shift. So may pattern na nangyayari. Example, 2-2S. Yan. So kung isa lang yung lumampas sa 2S, pwede pa. Pero pag 2-2S na, it's a sign already of systematic error. Kung pa isa-isa lang, tapos hindi magkalapit, ang lumalampas sa 2S, okay ka pa guys. Pero pag dalawa na silang magkatabi, lumampas na sila sa 2S, you're having systematic error already. Example, 4 control slice on 1S. Yan. So you are already having systematic error and 10x. When magkakalapit na controls, yan, 10, they lie on the same mean. Yan. So trend ang tawag doon. So requires investigation to determine yan, dirty photometer, evaporation or contamination of standards and reagent. So this happens slow, okay? It causes inaccuracy. Yan, hindi ka na accurate. So hindi na siya nasa true value. It's predictable. Yan, it has a regular pattern. So when we say trends, yan, pakibasa na lang. Yan. So a gradual loss of reliability of the test system. Shift, abrupt changes in the control mean are defined as shifts. Shift in QC data present a sudden and dramatic positive and negative change. Yan. So please go over yung mga sources ng trends at shift. So this one, yan. So control, yan, a sample that is chemically and physically similar to a known specimen and is tested in exactly the same manner. Yan. So some people uses the word control, madalas, yan, or calibrator. So your control limit, so talagang limit mo na is 2, okay? So bawal lumampas ng 3ST. Ano na yon? Pag isa lang, random error talaga. Hindi pwede. Measures of dispersion. Yan. So we use standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and range. Range is difference between the highest minus the lowest value. Quality control charts. Yan. So we have ito, Levy-Jennings chart. So mamaya, bisita natin yung Levy-Jennings charts. Yung may mean, may mga standard deviation. So this is the one that tells us whether we are in control or out of control. Walang warning dyan So error, with error, systematic error, random error, or no error lang. Yun lang. Yan. So my mean. Yan. So your values, yan, should surround the mean. Okay, pag ganito, alanganin na to. So systematic error na yung nangyayari. And we also have outliers. So, biglang a control result outside of the established limit. Incorrect control serum, a new batch with a different serial number, error run by someone unaccustomed to it. So, lack of training, incorrect qubit size. Outlier, sobrang layo yung result. So, your shift, yan. Your shift happens when there are 6 control values fall on the same side of the mean. Okay. Trend is a positive or increasing or decreasing 6 consecutive runs. So shift daw, it happens when you do not calibrate. Yan. Every time there is a lot number change. So sa reagent nyo guys, may mabasa kayong lot numbers. So, just check. Kung pare-pareho yung binili nyo ng lot numbers, no need to calibrate. Yan. So, check nyo yung lot number. Ibig sabihin, sabay-sabay sila sa pag-manufacture. Kung magkaibang lot number, magkakaiba sa ibang pamilya sila. Yan, you have to recalibrate your machine. So, kailangan mag-run ka ulit ng controls. Threads, deterioration of reagents, light sources. So your shift, they fall on the same side of the mean. Trend, increasing or decreasing. Ito na guys, yung mga Westgard multi-rules natin. Bibigyan ko naman ng example, pero let's just go over it. Define lang natin. 1, 2S. So, ibig sabihin, may lumampas na isa sa 2S. But less than 3S. Okay? So, warning lang to. No violations. So, in control ka pa rin. Ito, may isang lumambas sa 3S. Reject. Out of control ka na. This points to a random error. 2S. So, may dalawang control lumambas, magkalapit na control, consecutive na control lumampas sa 2S, either positive 2S or negative 2S, reject na to, systematic error. R4S, yan. So, the difference between 2 consecutive control, 4, ayan, R4S yun. Random error, masyado silang magkalayo. R1S, so, ibig sabihin, 4 ang tumambay, beyond 1S. Yan. So this is a systematic error. 10x. 10 consecutive controls fall on one side. Systematic error. So parang shift ang nangyari. Reject lahat yun. Okay. 1, 2S lang ang warning in control. Yan. Lahat to error. Yan. So sagutan natin guys. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 na places yung pagkakalayo nila. Ito, this one, lumampas ng 3S. May answer ba tayo dito? So, ang sagot dito, guys, R4S. Dito, 1, 3S. Yan, random error. This one, lumampas ng 2S. 2S. So, this is a systematic error. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yan. So, they lie on one side of the mean. So, kung di ako nagkamali, shift Yan, or 10x. Next, yan, 4, 1s ito. Yan, because sumobra sila ng 1s, tapos apat silang magkakatabi. Okay, 4, 1s. Yan, so, ganun guys. Then, review na lang yung mga yan. So, syempre, kunyari, pag sinabi kong day 2, yan, so, ang nakabilog sa meaning yun yung i-assess natin. So, please, read the instruction. Okay. Parang sa activity natin. So, for the delta check, guys, so, we compare the current results of the patient from their previous results. So, the delta check is important, okay? So, to avoid mix-up, yan, to ensure that we are releasing, we are siguro panatag tayo that we are releasing abnormal results. So, we have to check. So, example, it shows that the patient has anemia. The patient should produce a history of anemia from their previous results. So, anong gagawin, guys, pag naka-out of range tayo? So, repeat the same control. Yan. Check for human error. So, what would we do? Okay. Repeat the same control. Check for human error. Yan. So, pag na-repeat mo na yung same control, you are removing the errors that are coming from the operator. Yan. Run a new vial of the same control. So, you are assessing if the control is still okay o baka out of date or it's improperly stored or expired or contaminated already. Next, run a new control from a different lot. So, these are the things that you could do if you have achieved a rejection or a violation in your Westgard. Ito, performance, check reagents, and rerun the control. Or you could also recalibrate or rerun the control. Yan. You could get assistance if after all those steps, hindi pa rin out of control ka pa rin, and document the corrective action. So, what were the reasons why you were out of control, ganyan. Or baka yung equipment talagang luma na siya. So, I think, guys, that's the end of our discussion. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you for listening.